Hello, beautiful people. Today, I'm going to share my method of animal communication with you, and it's so much easier than you can imagine. It's the best method I have found for connecting to the subconscious, for reaching a higher state of consciousness, for connecting to the subtle realm of spirit. What I'm talking about is automatic writing, right? And it's certainly not just for animal communication. You will get all of the answers that you want in life when you learn to do this. It's also known as inspirational, soul, trance, or meditative writing, probably even more names than that. It's available to anyone, and it's so much simpler than you know. Follow along, and I'm going to debunk automatic writing right now. So, automatic writing, what is it? To sum up, it's a form of writing during a meditative or trance state with the intention of obtaining information, knowledge, guidance, or insights. It enables you to tap into your subconscious mind and channel thoughts and ideas onto paper without conscious control. It's here that you can access your intuition, what Carl Jung called the collective unconscious, by freely allowing yourself to write without the involvement of your conscious mind or ego. This means that you're in a truly neutral state of mind where you have no fears or judgments. You now move beyond the conscious mind and pass through a door to thoughts and insights you didn't know you were capable of. If you think your conscious mind is smart, you ain't seen nothing yet. And I'm serious. I am absolutely serious. It is claimed by many to have begun during the rise of spiritualism in America during the 1800s, but of course it predates that by thousands of years. When writing was created, even when hieroglyphics were and cave writing was created, like that's when it really started, because that's all inspired. It's all coming from somewhere, and people just wanted to write it all down. They wanted to record it all. They say the Bible was inspired, right? So that would be automatic writing too, channeling. All right, it's a form of channeling. All right, so while it may have its roots in communication with the spirit world, because that's most people think that's all it's for, is like a medium would use it or something, right? But many today are learning to use it as a way to tap into their creative side, for problem solving, for shadow work, for self-reflection and personal growth and development. It can serve as a form of therapy or emotional release. The act of writing freely and without judgment can provide a cathartic experience, a purgative experience, if you will, allowing you to process and heal from past traumas and emotional blockages. And so many people think, me included, right? You think you're over something, you think you don't care about something anymore, but it's lurking down in the subconscious. Yeah. So what it really boils down to is this. Automatic writing is really just a matter of mastering the art of switching brainwave states to achieve an established goal. It's available to anyone who truly wants to do it. And the first step is to remove the subconscious blocks that most of us have to allowing this connection to, from happening in the first place. We're evolving from centuries of fear and superstition, and these beliefs are lurking in the subconscious of each and every one of us. What blocks am I referring to? What subconscious blocks? And I'll list them right here. Overthinking. Overthinking is an act of the conscious mind. Thinking is an act of the conscious mind, right? Conscious thinking. And we want to quiet that, right? Taking score of what's happening will shut it down. And everybody does this. Like when they're learning to meditate, all of a sudden you go, ooh, what was that? Oh my gosh, I get it now. I couldn't tell my nose from my toes. Oh, well, and then they realize that they're gone now. They're gone from that state. As soon as you notice it, as soon as you start, logically thinking about it, you're done, okay? All right, so another part of overthinking is censoring your writing. All right, so you got to forget spelling and grammar. And this was hard for me at first because, I'm a writer. So that was really hard. But guess what? Nobody cares. No one's going to read this but you, first of all. Yeah, I can't always tell what I wrote. Well, it's getting better, but in the beginning, oh my gosh, I started with handwriting before I evolved to the keyboard. And at first, it wasn't even words yet. It was just like squiggles and I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, so you have to just let that go. It's really the act of doing it. It's not the reading what you wrote. It's the act of writing it, whether you can read it or not. All right, that's number one, overthinking. Number two, fear of evil spirits or the unknown. This is a huge one, and this was one I had. This has been ingrained in us by religion, and as soon as you enter a state of fear, you've lowered your vibration and you're done. So you have to know, you have to trust, you have to have faith, you have to know that you are in charge. Whenever you connect to the spirit world, you're in charge. You can sit there and be, oh, I don't know, I'm scared. Well, guess what? Your vibration is so low now, yeah, everything's going to come and get you. So, not literally, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, so if you're even thinking fear, if you're thinking you have anything to fear, if you're not realizing how powerful you are and that you're in total control, then you're going to attract all the wrong stuff, okay? So I don't perform any special protection rituals or any of that. I did in the beginning because every book I read, every course I took, everyone I talked to told me I was supposed to. I thought you had to. No, I know now, you don't have to. My vibration is always so high when I do this kind of work, and I get into a positive mindset first before I begin a session. But I know I'm protected just by my vibration and my intention, okay? Number three is doubt. Like fear, doubt will prevent a connection to the higher realm. You may not believe you can do this yet fully, right? You may not believe that you're capable of contacting the spirit world, but you must at least be open to the possibility, and that's important. I don't know if I can do this, but I know it can be done, and I'm going to give it everything I got attitude. All right? Be open to the possibility. One of my morning mantras that I repeat during my morning tapping session, that's EFT for those of you who don't know yet about tapping, is anything is possible and miracles are happening every day. And I got that from Philip and Jane Montrose, who have some books and courses on tapping if you're interested. Though, you know, Brad Yates, the tap master, is my ultimate source of tapping material. Yeah. Okay, number four, the idea that you're just making it all up. I love this one because guess what? We all think we're just making it all up. In the beginning, yeah, everybody does. Me included. Yeah, that's just normal. We've been told since childhood that anything mystical or magical that pops into our heads, anything that can't be reasoned through logic, anything that can't be proven in a lab or a university study is all imagination. So of course we think it's all make-believe, right? But I have news for you. It's all real. It's all real. All right, they say there's not an original thought because everything's floating around out there somewhere, but you have to figure out how to tune into that channel to get it. Okay, so start trusting and see how your life changes. That's number one. All right, don't fear, don't doubt. Okay, finally, the last one is to be being too attached to a preconceived outcome. The entire point of this is to receive information that we haven't yet conceived of. So you need to forget what you think the answer is or what you think you want the answer to be. This is a huge issue in card reading. That's why so many people love to ask yes/no questions, because they can only think of two possibilities, right? It's either yes or it's no. It's either this or that. And yet the best answer is almost always something else entirely. Be open and see what comes. All right? And don't think that you have to have something a certain way. Oh my gosh, I just met this guy. I think I love him and I want to have a relationship with him so bad. And then like the cards would keep saying, no, he's not for you. And then you keep drawing more cards. You're like, oh, maybe I'm asking wrong. Or no, you just keep trying to get the answer you want. No, just know that everything's going to work out if you just go with life and not fight it. Okay. All right, so these are the issues that are lodged in our subconscious. Well, how do we get rid of them? I already mentioned one, EFT tapping. Love it, okay? Reprogramming the subconscious mind is easier than you realize, but you do have to put the time into it. You got to put a bit of effort into it. But it's as simple as practicing mindfulness every day, where you kind of slow down, you close your eyes, you take a breath, and you're like, let me feel every part of my body. You check in with your body and you feel the room and all that. I know it sounds like all woo-woo and everything, but it's not. That's mindfulness. That's being present. Okay? That's a great thing to start working on. Self-hypnosis, meditation, of course, Positive thinking and affirmations on a regular basis. Get sleep phones. Start wearing sleep phones. I wear them many nights. Early on in this journey, I was wearing them every night and listening to positive subliminal affirmations every night to reprogram my subconscious to get rid of all this. All right, so once you remove the resistance by surrendering the ego and learning to focus within rather than so much without, the process of connecting to your higher self will just naturally begin. From there, you can take it as far as you want to. And all of this depends not on a special gift or being descended from mystics or psychics. It's open to any of us. It's available to any of us. We all have the ability. So no, you don't have to be, descended from gypsies or related to, your mother didn't have to be a psychic. No, none of that. We can all do this. All right, so everything you want to know, all the information of the universe is right here. It's all around us, okay? You just have to learn to figure out how to tune into its channel. If you want to learn something, it's the answer is out there somewhere. You just have to learn how to connect to the right channel, tune into the right channel, okay? Using your conscious mind to figure everything out is doing it the hard way, if it works at all. So you can start today by getting involved in this, all right? Now, I want to tell you that for me, automatic writing had to start with what I just called meditative writing or inspirational writing. Edgar Cayce called it inspirational writing. And I love that he differentiated between automatic writing and inspirational writing. He said that automatic writing was the true trance state, like that he went into. And though he didn't, he was spoken. Somebody else had to write for him. That's how deep he went. But yeah, like if you're gonna just really go under and connect to aliens or other beings or whatever, that to me is true automatic writing. But when you first begin, I think we all start with just meditative writing, okay? And that's where it begins. So that's normal, and that's where you want to begin. And there's a reason for that. I'll get into that in a second. Okay, so basically for inspirational writing, you have to get out of your normal beta wave state, which is our normal waking conscious mind state, right? And you got to take it down a notch to alpha. I made a video on my Lisa Loves Lenormand YouTube channel years ago on brainwave states and how to get into alpha. And of course, theta is when you're really doing automatic writing, you're in theta. But for most of this stuff, you only have to be in alpha, which is, people go into alpha when they're just, creating their art, when they're dancing, when they're doing something they really love and they feel free. Sometimes a walk in the woods, you're in alpha, and that's where you're just like on your own and your mind gets on something and you kind of just feel higher, lighter. Yeah, that's alpha. Okay. All right. So... Okay, so yeah, entering alpha is where it starts. And you enter alpha just by taking a moment to do some deep breathing, to feel your body. You can imagine a cord connecting you to the heavens and roots growing out of your feet, anchoring you to the earth. And you just keep focusing on your breathing and deep breathing. And then I tell my muscles to relax, okay? Your muscles don't have a mind of their own. You can tell them what to do. Just like you can tell your cells to regenerate, you can tell your muscles to relax. And I do that. I go through the whole thing. When I'm starting, I roll my shoulders, I get comfortable, and then I'm like, forehead relax, eyes relax, jaw relax. And all of a sudden my mouth kind of opens a little. I'm like, shoulders relax, and they drop. They drop, it feels like 6 inches. When I tell my abdomen to relax, that's when I really can breathe more easily. Yeah. And then you're in alpha. Okay. When you start doing that, that's how easy it is. As soon as you're in alpha, you want to do a brain dump. Okay. You have your pen and paper, or you might be on your keyboard. You want to do a brain dump first. That's what in the writing world, that's what it's called. It's I'm going to get into that more in a second. But that's the first step where you unload everything. Okay? All right, so here, let me just go through the steps. you have to gather your materials first. The easiest time to do this is first thing in the morning when you first get up, because you haven't faced the world yet. You haven't gotten on the computer yet. You haven't checked email or texting, or you haven't like reminded yourself that you're supposed to be in a bad mood because yesterday was terrible or that you have a problem, because like all of a sudden you feel good and then you're like, oh wait, oh no, I'm not supposed to be happy. Yeah, no, my life's in the toilet. No, you can't. You have to just get up and do this. Now, I at this point, I can do this any time of the day, but even today, because I had some things I had to do early this morning and my husband's home and all that, and I couldn't do it first thing this morning. I was like, oh, I'll have an hour this afternoon. It takes me longer. It's harder because I've already been doing other things. My brain is already on a million different things, all right? But anyway, if you can establish a ritual, you will have the easiest time with this. That means you're gonna do it in the same place at the same time, and you can use candles, you can use triggers, right? You can use aromatherapy, incense, candles, certain things, certain music, because you wanna put on headphones, earbuds, and put on alpha tones or theta tones, solfeggio tones, right? And then you can start, the breathing and keeping your eyes closed, and then you'll be right in. So you want to establish a ritual. It's very important in the beginning. And any ritual you have to do for at least 21 consecutive days before it really becomes a habit, right? Before it becomes easy. So, number one, after you get ready and get everything together and you have your pen and paper or your keyboard, then you want to decide who you're connecting to. What's your intention? You got to always have your intention set. You need to tune into a channel, right? Will it be your own channel, as in your higher self? Then you can direct the correspondence to your soul, your intuition, or just call it your higher self. Or maybe you can call it the deepest part of me, the depths of my soul. Be creative. But the point is, if that's your intention, you have to establish that from the beginning. If your intention right away for any of this is, I really want to connect with my mother, because that's the only reason I'm doing this. I just want to talk to my mother or my deceased dog or whatever. That has to be your intention from the start, and stay focused on that. That's the channel. That's the channel you're tuning into, right? And remember, this is not a monologue. You're not just talking to yourself like we do all day with our conscious mind. No, this is a dialogue. It's either between you or your higher self. Yeah, that's a dialogue. Or it's between you and the universe, you and God, you and Buddha, you and Jesus, you and animals that are alive, animals that are deceased, people that are deceased, right? Okay, there you go. That's the channel that you're tuning into, and you want to stay focused there. Okay. Most people start by just tuning into their higher selves, their own intuition, because that is the easiest. All right. Number two, decide on your question or questions and write them down. So if you have specific questions that you're going into this with, write them down. You will forget them. You might have to write them somewhere where, if you're not on the top of the page where you're going to be doing this writing, maybe write them somewhere else so that every time you get off track, you can look back and see it without going through your pages and say, oh, where did I write that question? All right. So I tell everyone who does card reading to do the same thing. If you don't know what to ask, start with something like, what is the most important thing for me to know right now? Okay. In a subsequent video, I am going to demonstrate how to use divination cards as prompts for exploring topics that you may not even have ever thought of, and that's a lot of fun. So you're going to love that. Anyway, so you want to just start with a single question, right? Don't overwhelm yourself. You're not going to be able to keep this up for too long in the beginning. Start with one simple question. Start with just trying to contact your higher self. Start by asking, like, what is the most important thing for me to know right now? Start with that, I would say that's the easiest. Okay, number 3, when you're first practicing AW, that's automatic writing, you should begin each session with a mental clutter cleanse or brain dump. That's what it's called in the writing world, right? Didn't I just mention that? A brain dump is a technique where you write down all of your thoughts. This is super, super, super important. I tell people that are trying to learn how to meditate, this is how you do it. Brain dump first, okay? Get everything out of you by putting it on paper. when you write things, this has been proven. Not when you just say, oh yeah, I'll remember that, or text yourself or whatever. When you physically type it out or write it on paper, you aren't worried about it anymore, and it will get out of your head. Okay? A brain dump is where you write all your thoughts, ideas, and worries to clear the mental clutter and improve focus. It's a process that helps reduce stress and allows you to more easily relax your conscious mind. All right? I start every day with a brain dump. And if I didn't, I would never be able to meditate. I wouldn't be able to quiet my mind. I wouldn't be able to perform automatic writing. I mean, what I do is I first start listening to the theta tones or whatever, right? I start my breathing. I got my eyes closed, but I have the keyboard right in front of me, right, to do my my brain dump. But I also have a little notepad and a pen, okay? Because when I very first start unwinding, all of a sudden I start remembering things. I'm like, oh, I don't want to forget that again. I have to call that client back. Or, oh, yeah, I forgot to add that to the shopping list. Or, oh, yeah, I have to pick that up or whatever, right? So I'm taking notes on my little pad. All right, then I keep going back to my eyes closed, the deep breathing, relaxing my muscles, just tuning everything out. And then I'm ready to do the brain dump, not the actual automatic writing yet. So I just start typing. Okay, yesterday when this person said this to me, that really bothered me, or this, I'm really upset about this, or, you just start unloading everything on the paper. All right. Number 4, right? So that was number 3, right? Number 4, now that you've cleared the mental clutter and you've already established your goal, remember you set your intention and you're focused on where you're going, who you're going to talk to. Now it's time to enter the alpha state. So this will ultimately be replaced by the theta state, and even moments of delta maybe, or gamma. This will happen organically. There's no forcing any of this, all right? Just get yourself into alpha, relax, let it flow, let whatever comes to you, okay? And then relax your muscles, close your eye, keep your eyes closed as much as possible, right? Keep those tones on, make sure there's no ads. Make sure you got ad-free music going. And then you'll be in alpha, right? Now I perform a 3-3-3 breathing, which is where I breathe in for a slow count of 3. I hold it for a slow count of 3. I exhale for a slow count of 3. Oh, that feels so good. Anyway, yeah, so that's my deep breathing ritual. I'm also focused on breathing into my abdomen, not my lungs, okay? So there you go. Then I actually envision myself breathing through my heart and my third eye, my ajna chakras. In other words, using my imagination, right? I'm picturing myself breathing through them as if they are lungs. I can see the breath going in and out, right? Yeah, that's what I do. Sorry, hon. Okay. Right? I ask that all my chakras be cleansed and filled with divine light. This is just my morning ritual. You can do it any way you want, but these are the steps I go through, and all of a sudden I am totally relaxed, totally in the zone. This is how I do it, and this is how I do it every time. All right? Because I'm a Reiki master, and no, this is not a requirement, I do my Reiki symbols, okay? Right? I call down I just call it divine healing energy, because it certainly doesn't have to be Reiki. I also am certified in quantum healing, so I say certified, but I studied it, let's put it that way. Yeah, all you have to do is learn it, right? You don't need a piece of paper saying you're certified. But any of the energy healing methods, you just all you're doing is you're breathing, right? Getting in the zone, getting your vibration up by thinking positive thoughts, and then just ask for the divine energy. I like to capture it, pew, 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 right? And then it comes in through my crown chakra. It goes all down through my chakras, through my whole body, goes out through my feet, down through those roots into Mother Earth, comes back up, bubbles out, goes all around me. I see it as a golden light. Okay, now I'm filled with it. It's all around me. That's my aura now. It's expanding. Oh, it feels so good. I'm so happy, right? And then I see it going down my arms and into my hands. So if I were doing healing, right, I rub my hands and then I kind of go like this and I'm stretching it and I'm molding it. And then I start to literally feel it, right? And then I'm like, wow, yeah, I'm playing with it like Play-Doh. Yeah, so that's how I started. And that's how I would do healing, right? But as someone who, or in this case, as in a situation where you will not be healing, you're going to be doing automatic writing, think of it. Now this energy isn't going into healing, it's going into your writing. All right? You can send it where you want it to go. Okay? Number 5 is, if you are handwriting, open your eyes slightly so that you can see where you're placing your hand before you start writing, okay? Or you will be writing on your table, okay? If you're typing, just place your hands on the keyboard. I don't even have to open my eyes to do that because you know, where your fingers need to go, there's little bumps there, right? So yeah, and I never have to open my eyes. For handwriting, I do my squinty eyes, right? Or I close one eye and then I close the other eye. I keep one eye closed. I practice different ways. Squinty eyes is where they're just barely open, you know, so you can fool around with that. But a lot of people can't do a keyboard, or at least not right away. They have a much easier time starting with handwriting. All right? Okay, so yeah, you're really ready to start writing, right? And it's here that you want to tune into the right channel. You want to remind yourself, who are you talking to? Who do you want to converse with? And if you had a question, ask your question, all right? Okay, now the next step is just wait for the impulse to write something, all right? So you're all set up, you know exactly what you're doing and all that, right? I mean, you have your intention set, you have your focus, you tuned into the right channel, and then you're sitting there and you're like, well, what do I write? I'm not getting anything. In the beginning, you do a lot of, I don't know what to write. This is what you're writing. The point is to keep writing, all right? When I studied controlled remote viewing, to do remote viewing, you have to keep your pen in contact with the paper. And you're not supposed to think about anything at all. You're supposed to just talk to your neighbor. You're supposed to look around. You could listen to music. It doesn't have to be theta sounds either. It could be anything. You're supposed to just get your conscious mind onto something else, but keep your pen on the paper and let your hand do what it wants, because automatic writing isn't controlled remote viewing is not even words. It's squiggles and lines and stuff, but eventually you wind up with a picture, and it's a picture of the target. It's amazing. It's amazing. Anyway, but what I learned from that is keep your pen on the paper or keep your hands on the keyboard, okay? All right, so yeah, you do a lot of, I don't know what to write. What do I want to know? Why am I here? What is this all about? Why am I doing this? I don't know what I'm doing. This is stupid. I don't know what to write. Like, you keep going around and around doing that. And I have pages of that before anything came, okay? An excellent place to start is with gratitude. This is an excellent place to start writing. Just think of all the things you're grateful for. You know, I'm grateful to have a roof over my head. I'm grateful to have a job. I'm grateful to be able to eat 3 meals a day. I'm grateful for my car. Even don't get into even though I don't love it. No, just think of all the things you are grateful for, and that will get you in the right mindset, and you'll kind of get lost in searching for more things you're grateful for, and all of a sudden you'll start writing. It's amazing how it'll all happen. But you know, it can take days, it can take weeks, it can take months. Some people say it takes them months before they actually even get anything worthwhile, but they still feel good just practicing this. So just start. Don't worry about what you get. It'll come. Okay? Again, don't worry about your spelling or your grammar or anything like that. Just let it out. And write anything and everything. Don't even think that someone else would ever have to read this. They don't. A lot of people burn them. A lot of people will write on paper, and as soon as they're done with a session, they burn it. Or after they reread it, they burn it. You know, you can delete it on your keyboard, on your computer, or whatever, if you want. Or just have some kind of a place where you can lock stuff up so nobody can get into it, because you need to be totally free when you do this. All right, so lastly, establishing a consistent routine and ritual will really help you. Yeah, and I think I mentioned this already too, right? Same place, same time, follow the same steps, because you know what? You're creating habit. It's gonna trigger your conscious mind to relax. It will automatically, it won't fight you anymore, and it'll awaken your subconscious. You'll go right in if you keep practicing the same ritual. Okay? Just like when you learn to drive. In the beginning, you have to think about everything, right? After a while, you don't ever think about anything you're doing. You just know how to do it. And that's what you want to get to, where you don't even have to think about any of this, where you just start doing it. And that's when it really gets easy. Okay. Now. Yes. Okay. Oh yeah, a lot of people ask me, do I ever read what I write? I almost never do now, unless I was asking for a specific answer. But when I come out of this, I know, I just know what the answer was. But I rarely read anything I ever wrote. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a time I do, but I really don't. I mean, sometimes. It's fun too, and I did in the beginning. And I was amazed, because actually sometimes you wind up getting stuff and you're like, I never talk that way. What you're going to notice here, I don't want to miss this part. What you're going to start noticing is that when you are writing from spirit, when you are inspired, this is inspired writing, right? It's from your higher self, wherever. It's going to be different than the way you would normally talk to yourself. It's totally confident. It's always optimistic. It's never going to tell you something negative. It's not going to tell you to do something bad. It only focuses on love and kindness and sharing. And at times, it may even use different words than you would normally use, and that you don't even know the meaning of. You know, sometimes you actually have to look up words. You're like, where did that come from? It's wild. It really is. So keep going with it. Now, I just want to quickly tell you, if you want to read books on this, there are so many books that can get you into automatic writing without actually being automatic writing books. Channeling books, right? This is my favorite. This is my absolute favorite channeling book. It's an older book, Opening to Channel. It's still a classic, right? Get this. You can get a cheap used copy online, I'm sure, because it's old. Animal communication books. Yeah. You can learn about getting into alpha state. They usually talk about meditation. I mean, I have so many. Most of my books are on Kindle, but I do have some hard copies that I get from this or that. Books on developing your intuition. Anything by Shakti Gawain. Yeah, no, she's great. It's an old book too. I don't even know if she's still alive. Is she? Oh, I don't want to say that. Anyway, but Developing Intuition was a good one. I have a few of her books. Books on the Akashic Records will tell you how to get into the right mind state, okay? Yeah, I have lots of Akashic Records books. Oh my gosh, I have tons of them. Then there are automatic writing books. Now, this is a newer one that I recently got. Do I really recommend this one? Well, I mean, I think I found the first chapter like pretty interesting, and then it kind of fizzled out for me. But if you didn't know anything about automatic writing, it might be a decent book. Well, now I'm going to tell you the one to get. I'm going to tell you the one and only one that you need. This one I would not recommend. Is that the one? Yeah, I didn't really like that one. I didn't really care for this one. Some of them I read and I'm like, I'm not getting anything out of this at all. And sometimes I don't even agree with some stuff. Oh, this one. Well, no, you won't find this one. This one is Anita Mule. Anyway, she was a psychiatrist who got into automatic writing, and she did a bunch of tests and, like with clients, studies and stuff. There's some really fascinating stuff in there. But the only book you really need. Oh, wait, hang on before I get to the best one. Okay, Writing the Divine by Sarah Wiseman. Love that. The ones I have on Kindle that I really like are Soul Writing by Joanne DiMaggio and Writing Down Your Soul by Janet Connor. I really like those too. Hypnosis books too, studying hypnosis, I've taken live courses in hypnosis, very fascinating, and it's all about trance states. It will help you with all of this. Any book on meditation or course, whatever. Energy healing, Reiki, that'll all help you. Okay, but the one and only book you need if you really want to get into automatic writing is this one, Michael Sandler's. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, Awe. This one will tell you everything you need to know. You really don't need any other books. Love, Michael Sandler, and he's from my home state of New Jersey. Okay, anyway, that's it. I know this went on for a long time, but my channel is always a school. So thanks for watching. Thank you if you hung in this long. Now go practice getting into alpha. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.